Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with the tarot reading for the groups for 2023. So yes, let's start with today's group. It's going to be NCT 1 to 7, and I'm going to do this very general reading for them, for this unit in particular. So let's see the tarot cards that they got. They got the Hierophant, the Magician, the Four of Cups, Queen of Swords, and Six of Pentacles. And then from the Oracle, they got the card of Intuition and Psychic Process. So, yeah, I think that it's actually very like impressive. You know, for me, the Hierophant is the company card when I read for the idols, and seeing it here with the Magician. Definitely, I would like to think of them as this very powerful force within the company. You know, like somehow they are stepping to their power. And they are in this sort of mode of creator mode, you know, where everything that they want to accomplish, they are accomplishing it. So this year is going to be like very protagonist for NCT 1 to 7. Probably there will be a lot of exposure, there will be a lot of projects, a lot of like activities to do, and all of them in a place where actually I think that probably the members will have the possibility to choose, to have some sort of autonomy. But you know, seeing the Hierophant so close to this Magician, I would say that yes, they will have some control over some things, over some decisions. But they will have it as long as they stick to the rules and as long as they do what the company tells them to do. And I think that this is something that is like, I got really excited for them when I pull these cards, you know, especially the Magician, because it gives them this sort of like very, you know, dominion over the opportunities that can come for them, and also them having some kind of dominance in numbers and also in participation. I think that they are slowly, like, you know, like climbing the ladder, and they are positioning themselves in a very prosperous, they are very prosperous for the company. So they are working for the company, like they are providing for the company. They are really, like, you know, I believe that all NCT units are being very successful. They are very solid in their impact as groups, and they are very present. Very prosperous group. But I believe that probably for NCT 1 to 7 in particular, they are very successful, and they are, like, you know, like climbing the ladder, like in the sense that they are differentiate themselves from the other groups in the company, and also from other groups of their generation or the next generation, you know. So they're becoming, like, you know, very popular. Like, I know that probably the fans that are listening to this, they're like, what do you mean they are popular? But I think that they are, like, in this sort of, like, they are like celebrities already, you know, like in this year, you will probably, you know, sense this, like, there's going to be a lot of moments of protagonism for them, or for some members in particular. But seeing seeing the Hierophant next to this, I think that they will be able to accomplish this notoriety, you know, and this, like, oh wow, like we really are very, like, we really are like celebrities. We really are, like, you know, like being very recognized. But then you have the company next to them, somehow, like, you know, whispering and guide them about what to do. So when I see the Four of Cups here in the middle also, I feel like there's, I think that no matter how much they can get these moments of like, wow, like we really made it, like we really are on the top. We really are that influential. When you see the Four of Cups, it's like they actually feel very empty inside. You know, like somehow they are being proposed all these things and they are being like handed all these opportunities. And they are like, I don't know if I want to do this. You know, they are a bit like apathic. They are a bit like, they could go through moments where they are like, this is great, but there's something about this that I'm not completely like connecting. Like I know I should be happy for this, but somehow I don't feel like I can enjoy this. Like I don't connect with this. So yeah, definitely, yes. A lot of people pulling strings and influences here around the group. So this is why I think that probably for them, somehow, you know, when people like praise them or compliment them, they feel a bit empty inside. You know, like, yes, like I know I done well, but somehow I don't feel that emotion, that wave of emotions, you know, actually probably them trying to connect with emotions, you know, when it comes to being, you know, probably if they, I don't know, they start crying or something, you know, or get emotional, it could be like actually crying out of exhaustion or frustration or loneliness. You know, not so much crying because, oh, I feel so touched by everything, how far we had come. You know, like it seems like they need some, you know, some emotional connection. Like somehow they are wondering, like, okay, what's beyond all this? You know, what's, there has to be something like deeper than this, you know, like a very emotional, like I'm sure that there's a lot of people that are like, oh, but you should feel so proud of yourself because you made it, you're here, you're part of this amazing group, and somehow they feel a bit empty inside. And I think that this is very personal. I think that this has nothing to do with the fandom. I think that it has to do more about their existential crisis, probably, you know. And also I feel like there's a lot of people trying, like whispering to them, you know, being like, you know, behind them, very, very close to them. So whenever they have this possibility to experience a sort of freedom or individuality, somehow they are reminded that, oh no, they are, you know, the managers, the higher ups, you know, and of course that we should appreciate the people that put a lot of work into the groups, because the reality is that they do not make, you know, make it happen just for being themselves or just, you know, the members themselves. There's a lot of people working with them. But I think that this is more about probably the higher ups, like trying to take advantage or to claim something that actually we know that it's the guy's work. You know, like somehow reminding them like, oh yes, like don't feel so proud because actually I made this happen, or I put the money here, or I arranged this here, I talked with this person here, so this is why you have all that the possibilities that you have now. You know, so somehow when they are supposed to feel a sort of pride for how far they had come, there's always someone very sort of like teacher, a sort of like tutor, or like a teacher, it could be a boss as well, you know, like being a bit authoritative and being like, okay, like, yes, you done well, but remember that I made this happen for you. So I think that in this sense, there's this like belittling of their efforts, you know, somehow being like, oh yes, you done well, but remember that I was the one with the idea, you know. And here I'm sorry, I can. Here I got the Queen of Swords. That I believe this could this could represent anyone, but I sense like a female figure, somehow like also like talking to them, like being very honest and straightforward about you know um, somehow advising them to fight for what is right and for stop like accepting pennies, like really go for the for what is fair for you. They're slowly like they probably this year is going they're going to enter into a very, I wouldn't say emotional, because I sense that they start very apathic, but at the probably the 6 months from now, they are going to start to wake up and also get a bit sharper when it comes to, and also getting some legal advice probably, or talking to people that has more experience in the industry, that are going to bring clarity to their ideas and their thinking and their thoughts, and somehow are going to give them a sort of awakening. I'm not saying to all the members, but probably to some of them, about, okay, how much are you making? How much are you getting out of all of this? Like, is the payment fair? Like, how much are you receiving? About what you're giving. Yes, we know that you are giving this amount of effort. Like, about what are you receiving in return, and how much is it? And of course that this can create a sort of like conflict about, like observing which is getting what, like observing the others and being like, oh, I got this, but you got this, and you got also this. So, somehow like observing each other and being a bit, like on the defensive about like, oh, but, you gave them more than me and I done this and this, so it can create a sort of like, a bit of petty behavior, but I think that it's necessary somehow for them to start opening eyes about the finances, because it's not about getting the equal payment. It's more about like getting a bit more, and if one of them wakes up and starts noticing that this is not fair, probably this is an opportunity for all of them to speak up, and this is about money. Yes, this is about money. This is about, it's not so much recognition, it's about, money, like actual money. And this is also about them also this year, become a bit more mature and probably a bit more business smart, because like I told you, they had been here for a while. They have the magician card, so definitely they are providing for the company. The numbers that they are making they're taking control of the charts. Like really, I see them like really like setting their presence. I wouldn't say that they are the ones that make the most for the company when it comes to sales, but probably for this year, 2023, they are going to be one of the first. So, I think that this sort of growth and all the effort that they put, I know they're on tour, they are doing a lot. Thank God they had been working a lot, so the numbers are going up. But somehow there's this sense of like, probably they are starting to notice that, yes, the responsibilities, the activities, everything is increasing, but they're, but what they are receiving. So somehow it seems like they are being kept under some kind of manipulation for them to stay the same and not notice that actually, their influence is rising, the numbers are rising, and somehow there's someone that is going to, I believe it's a female, that somehow she's going to speak to them, she's going to say it like very casually, like probably in a very, not formal gathering or reunion, somehow talking to the guys heart to heart, because I sense that she's very blunt, she's very outspoken, she doesn't, she's not like tied to the company. She has her own mentality, her own ideas, and probably she's a boss. So she's like, okay, guys, like really, like how has been your payments? Like what's going on here? How is this what you had been receiving? Like, don't you think that you should like maybe get a bit more, and planting this seed on them. So suddenly they will move from this Four of Cups, because I believe that it's necessary that they, get out of this state of being apathic. Because if you are apathic, somehow you are not present, you are not paying attention, you are not receiving, you are like somehow like asleep. You are not paying attention. So I think that they need to wake up. They need to, because I think that it also, probably these guys feel very lonely when it comes to, connections, actually. And I think that this is not, probably even among them, like, yes, they communicate, but it's not that they feel like 100% like supported by each other, because each one of them is dealing with different issues. They are individuals, they are different people, and they're probably in their own styles and personalities. They feel lonely, because they are not children anymore, they are men, and in their search for trying to feel something, also the Four of Cups has this sort of downside that I think that is the more numb you feel, the more you are going to start to look for things or people that can make you feel something, or like trying to get into situations that can spark like a fire on you, So I think that it's better for them to really like get in contact with their awareness, get in contact with themselves, with what's going on with themselves, instead of starting to act recklessly and doing some things that are not very good for them, because a lot of people are watching. When you are popular, a lot of people are watching, so we don't want rumors here. So I think that, here also with the card that it's intuition and psychic process, they are going to start waking up their intuition. This is something that I think that, I placed this oracle, beneath the Four of Cups, because I think that this is the importance. They need to wake up their senses. They need to wake up their intuition, because there's a lot of things, a lot of strings being pulled behind their backs. This is why I was like very uncomfortable when I saw the company card behind the magician, because actually the magician, it's a very like individualistic card. It talks about, your, in this case we're talking about the group, so of course that is the energy of the group, that the group as an entity on its own has a lot of resources and has a lot of power, but somehow I saw, the Hierophant behind it, and I was like, oh no. It's like they are being still like manipulated by the company. So even though they show an image of, like we have this, like, yes, we are powerful, somehow the Hierophant behind is like, no, you cannot go that far, because you have to follow traditions. You have to follow the book. You have to follow the rules. This is how we do things here in this place. So somehow they could be feeling very creative, feeling with a sort of fire inside of them that is like, okay, now that we are, in the spotlight, we want to take this moment to create something different. And actually them being like pulled back, and being like, no, sit down, we make the rules here. So yes, guys, so yes, a lot of psychic process. I believe that the guys are going to start feeling actually very psychic. Some of them could actually, start feeling a bit like, having dreams, and somehow having visions about, because it seems like they are entering a state in their life where they are starting to seeing things, and probably there are going to come people also in their lives that that are going to like push, and make it happen, make this psychic process start, because they need to start paying attention to the red flags, to the signs, to the possibilities. They cannot stay asleep. They need to pay attention, and this year is the year. Is the year that they have to pay attention to their intuition the most. They cannot remain asleep anymore. So yes, guys, this is all I have for them. I hope that it makes sense. Thank you so much for being here, and please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So yes, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.